Welcome guys, Red here. Today I'll be showing you how to get better at Pubg Mobile as fast as possible. In this video I'll be sharing with you tips and tactics that kept me in the European leaderboard from Season 1 until now. I've collected all the information you guys need in 10 tips so you can become a better version of yourself and achieve Conqueror rank or even top 100. Let's get started with tip number 1. Tip number 1, we have PreAim crosshair placement. This is the most important tip to having great and consistent aim. This can be easily achieved by pre-aiming at a specific area where you think you saw an enemy or you heard him, so you have an advantage on him. So the second he comes out, you can just start shooting and your crosshair is on top of him. The biggest mistake that I see people do is when they see an enemy, they instantly scope in and start shooting. Then they start moving their crosshair toward the enemy target and they just melt him down. But this is gonna allow them to lose so much precious time than doing it the right way, which they have to aim at the target or pre-aim at the target if they're using the sound and the visual effect to the fully and the maximum potential. And then when they aim at the target, they can scope in and then shoot. Not shoot and then scope in, then aim. Aiming is always first. I assure you guys, if that tip is mastered, you will become a god with aiming. You will be the shroud of Pubg Mobile in no time. Tip number 2, knowing your guns and which firing mode to use at which situation, such as spraying, burst or single tapping. This is a very wide subject guys, but I will try my best to conclude everything you need in a small segment. Basically, before you start full spraying from 200 meters with the 6x, you need to have good knowledge about the gun you're using, the most effective way to use the gun, and also the range you're trying to hit your enemy with. How far is your enemy from you? All of this combined is gonna give you a clue on what to use in which situation. I'll personally full spray from 0 meters to 100 meters with a red dot. If it gets beyond that, I will do small bursts from 3 to 5 bullets maximum. If it's further than 150 meters, I will just single tap. Even if I'm using a red dot, I will single tap because that's the most efficient way and the fastest way you can hit your enemy and kill him. That's how I personally use my weapons, guys. It's all a personal preference, but this is what I suggest to you. Tip number 3. Having the perfect sensitivity is a huge part of improving your aim. To keep this simple guys, I have a special video made about how to find your own perfect sensitivity. This video I'm gonna leave it in the description. So whenever you finish watching today's video, go into the description. The first link is gonna be about how to find your own perfect sensitivity. Check it out if you didn't already because we have 116,000 views. Don't go yet, wait until we finish today's video, then you can check it out. Tip number 4, positioning. I've talked earlier on how important pre-aim crosshair placement is, but if you want to take one tip out of today's video, make sure it is positioning. This is gonna be a game changer for many of you guys. So many people don't know or realize that they are the one deciding where the fight is taking place. You must position in an area or place that is semi-safe because if anything wrong happens, you can just fall back and reposition. The longer you stay alive and you survive fights, the more experience you're gonna gain and the more opportunities you can find in your future fights. Tip number 5, teammates. This is not only for squad players, this is for everyone who says my teammates are bad, I can never rank up because of my teammates. The one tip I can give you about this is before blaming anyone else, blame yourself. Let's say they're not the same level as you. Well, guess what? You cannot do shit about it because forcing them into a high pressure situation that could be normal for you won't make them pros, it will only get them all killed and you will be stuck 1v4 alone. How do you go through a situation like that? You have to communicate and you have to understand what is their strong side. You have to play around their strong side. Let's say it's long range, you cannot rush. You have to play long range with them, so you will have a higher chance of winning. That's how to win with a mediocre team. Just focus on your own gameplay and how good or bad your calls and moves were, and focus on improving and learning from your own mistakes. Tip number 6, we have utility usage, which is also known as grenade usage. There's two bad scenarios for this. It's either you don't pick up any grenades or you pick up so many and you just throw them around. Notice here when I peeked over here and I start shooting, I noticed one of them on the left side and I also got shot from the right side, which means they were both locking two sides of the house. I threw a nade over here so I can not allow them to come under us here, and they were also throwing some nades on the stairs, so I knew they were not pushing. I went for the revive and I used the information I gathered earlier when I went up. I knew there was one guy on the left, and here's the 200 IQ play of there's purpose to my grenade. I used the edge of the window to ricochet the grenades to the position of the other guy, and I gave him no time to react, and boom, voila, we have a kill. I go up, I check a quick peek, and I go out on the other guy and I burst him down. I have a challenge for you guys. If we can hit 5,000 likes, I'll be making an in-depth utility guide, which is also called as grenade guide. Let me explain to you a bit on what's gonna be happening in the utility guide. We're gonna ask ourselves a simple question, which is, what do we need to accomplish by using that nade? I'm gonna be calling a couple of stuff of key points that I will be sharing in the utility guide video once we hit 5,000 likes. Let's start off with reacting grenades, which can be as throwing a Molotov on the stairs to allow the enemies not to rush you immediately until the Molotov is over, which is gonna buy you time. Throwing a quick flash before you rush or push a building, or fragging a specific room of a house to force the enemies to change their position to the other room and put them in a bad situation. Tip number 7, we have movement. Look how lucky you guys are. I've recently made an in-depth movement guide. I was sharing all my secret tips and tricks to improve your movement. Let me tell you some of the key ideas I've shared over there. If you want to learn more about it and you want to learn how I've done it, go check out the movement guide. It's going to be the link in the description of this video. So let me tell you about some of the key points I was talking about in that video. Having the ability to pick different angles in a fraction of a second, crouching while full spraying to reduce the recoil, or even running in different patterns to dodge bullets is gonna separate you from being an average player or being a pro. This is often overlooked. Being able to move around the map with the smoothest movement, getting into the important position a few seconds faster might be enough to clutch a win or even allows you to get to safety. Tip number 8, we have preforming under pressure. Many players get caught up in the moments once they are under pressure, or they start panicking and they throw. A pro player knows when it's time to take the fight, or it's time to back off and prioritize surviving on getting that kill. Maybe it's because it was a risky play, or something like it was not even worth it because of a zone reason or positioning reason. So my tip here is make sure you analyze the situation you're in as fast as you can before you go in, and if you get forced into a situation, make sure you make the most out of it. If you die, you still have won something and it's experience, and that's more important than collecting the W's. Tip number 9, we have practicing with a goal. You guys are already doing this tip. You know why? Because the main reason you clicked on this video is so you can learn something and improve. Whether through watching videos, guides, or even gameplays. But if you really want to improve, watching this video is not enough. You need to implement all the previous steps or tips in your game. Just make sure to focus on one thing at a time, which could be as simple as getting the best position every zone, even if you don't get the win, or making sure you use grenades efficiently. Just remember not to rush. Practice it every day until it becomes a second nature for you before you move on to something else. Each step will get you one step closer to whatever goal you have set to yourself. Tip number 10, have fun and enjoy yourself. Don't get too harsh on yourself for a misplay or a mistake you have done. Losing is still winning, because it will still motivate you to push yourself to try new stuff and become a better version of yourself. Pubg Mobile is definitely not an easy game to learn or to master. It will take time because time is key. Time is everything. You need to learn a skill, it's gonna take time. You have to understand that. I hope you guys have learned something new in today's video. Even if it was as small as a seed that could be watered and taken care of to help you become a better version of yourself. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Let's hit 5,000 likes on this video, and also make sure to share this video with your friends so everyone can learn something new out of it. So as I said, 5,000 likes and I will drop the utility guide, and if we hit 5,000 likes I might also drop another guide which is gonna be how to improve your reaction time and your close combat. Thank you so much for watching, and as always guys, I will see you in the next time.